I'm waiting you start.
Yes, welcome Gladys to this call. Guys, today is an exciting day. We have a fantastic speaker who is going to talk to us about matters health, about issues concerning our gut health. And that's none other than Gladys Njura, very, very experienced distributor, very successful in Neolife, one of our top directors. And Gladys, karibu, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, Fred, and thank you for always being there for us every Sunday. We don't take it for granted. My name is Gladys, and I'm super excited today. I feel blessed, and I feel honored that I'm taking you through this session, because it's a session not just for the people who have sick gut. It's for us who may be thinking we are healthy, and we don't have any gut issue. We need to be able to make sure that we keep taking care of the gut. So it's a continuous process. And the most amazing thing, this topic also takes care even of our children, because along the way, I've come across quite a number of children who have had gut issues. And so it's important to know that we need to understand it, not just for the people who are already having the issues. It's for us who need to maintain a good gut. And as you can see there, a good gut equals a healthy you. Reason being is because we are normally told that our gut health is our second brain, usually. And so we need to make sure that our gut is at its best, because the gut and the brain, they work hand in hand. And it's been said by the experts that many challenges that we have in our health today, quite a number of them, many of them, they actually start from the gut. Remember, when we talk about health generally, we have quite a number of systems when it comes to the digestive system, where you have to eat the food, then you chew it, then it goes to the stomach for digestion, then after digestion, it goes for assimilation, and all that, and then there's elimination. Is quite a process. And that process in itself, many people ignore it and assume it. So we need to know that our overall health is impacted by our gut health. So that is something that we need to know. And when we look at gut health, we have quite a number of challenges. Just listed a few there. We have the kidney stones. We have Crohn's disease, appendicitis, where sometimes you're told we have to remove your appendix. There are people who have a lot of challenges of gas, and it becomes quite a challenge for them. Then we have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, ulcers, gastritis. And so these are just some of the common ones, and we'll be seeing a few more as we move on. And so you can always take a screenshot so that you understand best what could be happening to you or to somebody around you, or what we need to do to make sure that we have a healthy gut. So I'm going to start with some of the challenges that we have, and they could be autoimmune challenges. Like one of them is the one you can see there, celiac disease, which is an autoimmune ailment. And you know, when you have an autoimmune problem, it means now that your immune system is actually attacking you. And in this case, it will corrupt the lining of the small intestines, and it will just do self-destruction. And this one normally happens because of when the immunity is low. If your immunity is low, you find that you could have that challenge. And in it, there's a lot of inflammation. And inflammation is whereby, just to say in a layman's language, when there's an inflammation, is like when you fall and you have the bruise that is red and there's a lot of burning sensation in there. That's what I could call inflammation in a layman's language. And that could also happen in the gut. And that is serious because you're not seeing the inflammation and you don't know the extent of the challenge. So there could be pain, there could be diarrhea, bloating, and fatigue. And okay, only a small percentage of people get that. There are people who have lactose intolerant. Like you find somebody has, they can't tolerate milk and they have a reaction when they take milk or eggs or whatever else that they take, and they have an allergy to that. Then we have IBS. IBS is quite common, and it involves bloating, a lot of cramps. There could be constipation. Some people have diarrhea. And this is where now there's a problem with the nerve endings in the gut. And so you find that there's a challenge there, and it can be quite irritating and disturbing. Then we have the gastrointestinal challenges. Gastrointestinal challenges themselves, many of them come because of bacterial or viral infection. You find that you have a bacteria or you have a virus that has infected the gut, and that infection is normally caused by this bacteria we normally hear called the E. coli or the Salmonella. I'm sure many people have heard that. There are those who also get rotavirus. Some of those things are quite common when you listen. And you know, the most amazing thing is that, not amazing, the most challenging thing is that most of us do have bacteria that are unwanted in the body, or fungi or virus that are in our stomach. And you find many people, when you have a child, you deworm them, but we do forget to deworm ourselves. And that effect, if the bacteria is a bit too high than it should be in the gut, it can give you challenges. Then we have ulcers. You know what ulcers are. At least we all know that ulcers are sores that form in the stomach lining, and they really can challenge somebody. And some of them, can you imagine, are caused by H. pylori, you know, the Helicobacterial pylori, you know, H. pylori bacteria. And these ones can really be very, very stressful. Some of the ulcers are caused by stress and sometimes even our eating habits. And you know, people who have ulcers, they are very challenged. And they even have other challenges because their eating habits are, they are challenged. You see someone says, I don't need sukuma, I don't need this, I don't need this. So it means even in the variety of their foods, they're not getting enough nutrition. And that in itself is another challenge. Then we have gastritis itself. And in gastritis itself, you have a lot of cramping in the stomach. You just can't understand what is happening in the stomach. And some people get it coming in spikes. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it goes. And this one also has a lot to do with even eating disorders, very important. We also talked about H. pylori, which is a bacteria that is affecting very many people. And you find those people with H. pylori, they have to be given certain kits that they have to take. And some people take the kits, and after a while, the problem comes back. And this is very serious because if left unchecked or if it keeps recurring, this one can actually result to stomach cancer, which is quite serious. Then there are people who have gas all the time. They have a lot of gas in the stomach and they are always having to pass gas. It's really uncomfortable for them. And sometimes it can have cramps and it's painful. Then there's hemorrhoids. For those who don't know hemorrhoids, what they are, or sometimes they are called piles, they are small veins that swell out. They're either within, inside the ending of our, where we do our elimination, okay? So it could be a swelling that is within that, or sometimes it gets out. You can actually feel or see, if you put a mirror there, you can see those swellings, they can be very uncomfortable because the people with hemorrhoids, they don't want to go for long calls, so they don't want to eat much, and they also get now affected in other areas. So we have the internal and the external, and very many people are having hemorrhoids, and we need to be careful on that. We have GERD. GERD is it erodes the lining of the esophagus that results to bleeding. And that is something that really needs to be checked, because it could be confused to heart issues because of the pain it causes on the chest. Then, of course, there's a chronic diarrhea that could be happening just in case you have an infection or you have too much of the viral parasites, and that causes diarrhea. We all know that diarrhea is not good. Then we have peptic ulcers. Peptic ulcers, we've said it's more related to the normal ulcers, but this particular one has more discomfort. It could even, some people even get blood getting out of their system. They cough out blood. They could lose weight. And this is a challenge that is not really good. Then we have, just a minute, we have kidney stones. Kidney stones are those, they are, what can I say? They look like stones, yes, but they are not real stones. They are just crystallizations of things that are in the kidneys, and they could be very painful, and they need to be dissolved one way or another for you to avoid, for it to come to an area where you need to go through an operation. So that should be checked out. Then Crohn's disease, we saw that it's autoimmune and it can cause weight loss, which is not good. Constipation, we all know what constipation is. I'm sure most of us who went to boarding school at one time or another, we constipated, especially when we messed up with our eating. That one day when you have to eat so much and the body is not used to that. And then, of course, there's the appendicitis, which affects the appendix. And some people could have it removed if it becomes very critical. It could result to actually the doctor having to work on it. So there are many studies about gut health. And what I've come to realize about gut health is that even the specialists we have are not too many in Kenya. There are not many. And that is why many people with gut issues, they suffer a lot, because it requires specialization, specialized treatment. And if you go around, very few people are gastric doctors specialized, but of course they are there. And it affects the immune system, it affects your mood, it affects your mental health. I once met somebody who had ulcers for a very long time, and he was really disturbed about it. He was getting to a point where he almost got depressed. And you see, so all those things are there. Some of the diseases could even affect our skin conditions, where your skin is affected and you're not understanding. You know, correlating the two, skin and gut, can be quite far-fetched. Not to mention, of course, ultimately it could be one of the reasons that we have cancer happening. So it's very important for all of us to understand that we all have a gut. We have children. And I always tell even the ladies, there are ladies who they are pregnant or they are planning to be pregnant. They have to eat well, extremely well. That is why you find some children have a lot of colic. A small child is really disturbed so much by colic. And that is directly related to how a mother eats. If a mother is eating a lot of junk, a lot of funny juices, a child is more likely to be affected by colic. So these things are not just for the elderly or the sick. It is even us who are healthy, and so that we understand this to be able to help somebody else around us. So we've seen those signs of stomach upset. Some people have a sugar craving, especially when it is an addiction, and it's very bad for the bacteria. Sugars are very bad for the bacteria. Unintentional weight changes. Some people actually lose weight because of that. Sleeping disturbances or constant fatigue. I'm sure when you're not sleeping well, that in itself is a challenge. And you know, when you sleep well is when you get the happy mood hormone, which is called serotonin. So you need to be able to sleep well. And if you're not sleeping well, that in itself is a challenge, and it will aggravate the problem, because we need to eat to sleep well. So there are people who get skin challenges. Either it's when you eat something and your skin shows and you have some lacerations on the skin, or you have eczema. Eczema is also a form of, not everything is not too well in the gut. Maybe even there are too many toxins. The autoimmune conditions means you have to work on your immunity in a big way, so that immune system can fight for you instead of it attacking you. And then, of course, food intolerances. There are people who are here, they have a lot of allergies, and they have allergies of foods that eventually, if they worked on it, can work out. Yeah. What are the solutions? Number one, we need to lower our stress levels. We always say, no matter what you're going through, you need to get to a point where we say, you really have to take care of your health. So you must lower your stress levels. I know there are people who really get stressed, and you're like, why is somebody taking things overboard instead of just letting it be? You know, so there are those things that can help you, like meditation, walking, hanging around with friends and family, not taking life too seriously. You can do some essential oils to give you that good feeling, decrease your caffeine, laugh, have a pet. There are many ways. Just need to find out what works for you in the circumstances that you have around you. You need to get enough sleep. It's very important to get enough sleep, uninterrupted sleep. I know there are moments when we get too much to do, or we get overwhelmed by social media, whatever else that can disturb us. We need our 6 to 8 hours of sleep. You need to eat slowly. This is one thing that many people need to know. You can't eat in a hurry. There are people who get a plate of food and within 2 minutes, they are done with the food. Let me use this word without mincing my words. I think it is not good. It's bad to eat very fast. You need to eat slowly, because in eating slowly, it means you're taking time to chew your food, and that helps in full digestion. And above that, the proper absorption of the nutrients. So it is very, very important. You need to stay hydrated. And when we talk about hydration, I know there are many drinks out there, but we need to take water, good water, especially the purified water is usually the best if we can be able to work on it moving forward. And we should not take water immediately after food, especially cold water. The best way to do it is take water before meals. When the stomach has done its digestion, and it's taken time. So when you take the water, it gives a good flush into the system. So this habit of eating with a glass of cold water there is not good. Maybe you can do some warm water or some hot water, some hot tea after food, but it shouldn't negate the fact that you need to stay hydrated with water. So the best is water before meals. If you can make it warm, that would be nice. So yeah. Then we need to check whatever food that you are intolerant to. If you have intolerance, then you understand, so that you can either eliminate that, change your diet. One of the best ways is to change your diet from high sugar and high fat diet. Those things are very nice to the taste buds, but when they get into the system and into your gut, they really mess you up. Again, high sugar, high fat diet makes the body acidic. And an acidic environment is a good breeding ground for some certain diseases. So we need to add plenty of plant-based foods and lean protein, and more so the best is the white meat. But I'm not saying we don't do the other meats, but we do it sparingly. And then definitely you need to think probiotics. I would want you to go and read more about probiotics and the benefit that you need, that they are there in the body. Prebiotics and probiotics are very, very important. And now I'll be talking to you also about supplementation. Very, very important. So according to what I have learned the last 19 years, the World Health Organization has been saying that as we look at the lifestyles today, many of the challenges we have for health are there. The chronic diseases are affecting every out of every 4 deaths, 3 will be affected by this. And so you find in that, gut health could be part of it, because we've said gut health can gravitate to other challenges of health as well. And we are being told it's time to reverse the trends. And so I'll be introducing you to Neolife, which is a force to reckon with. It's an institution that has been in the market since 1958. Having done a research having done by the US government for over 12 years. Yeah. And the finding was brought up in 1958 to the American government, and the scientists sought a solution. They sought a solution to those challenges. And so Neolife is one of the organizations that they have done a lot in life, especially in the area of scientific excellence. It has a scientific advisory board, and I would like you to read the credentials of these people in the Neolife University. I know most of us are technologically able. Go and read more about these guys. And Dr. Otherfast is one of the first guys who discovered, he actually is the one who discovered orochemo. You know, you can see there he was born 1914. So by the time they were doing the 1958, the results of whatever the scientists had been looking at, why disease is so common, he was one of the people who came to give solutions, and he's a Nobel Prize winner, even in toxicology. And you know, toxins are a big challenge to the gut health as well. So that's how the institution was built. And the mission statement is basically to make the world a healthier and a happier place, starting with you. Because you have to make a choice to live a healthy life. And so Neolife says, if you have that choice, come and partner with us. We will do part of the background for you. We have done it. We will support you. And that is why we are locked in every Sunday here to go through those sessions. The more you learn, the more you're able to take care of your health and the people around you. Just the same way you go to your work diligently to work, or the way you do other things in life, health should be part of your center. You know, the core things that you need to take advantage of and learn as much as you can. So this is what we do here, trying to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And we are being told, according to the scientists, we are supposed to eat in a healthy way. Down here, we are supposed to have physical activity and manage our weight. Remember, I added other things: stress, reducing your stress levels, taking enough water, of course, having a good diet, sleeping well. So we are saying you must have physical activity. Please don't be a couch potato. You must be somebody who lives a healthy life that is full of activity, whatever activity you can plan for yourself and your family. Then you need to incorporate lots of whole grains in your diet. Whole grains, like in East Africa, we could talk about wheat, rice, soya, and maize. Make it whole, not refined. Many times we have a lot of refined starch, and that is not good for us. Then we need lots of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables, they are variety, and you need as many as 6 going to all the way to like 13 or 15 of them in a day. Don't ask me, is it possible? The body needs that, but I'll be giving you a solution for that where it's not possible. Then we need good protein, and good quality protein is the lean. We are talking about the lean meats, the animal protein, and the plant-based proteins. Those are the best sources because, as I told you, they are alkaline to the system. They have fiber. Even the fruits and vegetables and the grains have fiber, which is very great for your gut. Very important. Then anything that has fats and sugars should be minimal. Now, the thing is, typically this is how we've moved it. And what people don't understand is whenever you eat refined starch is usually turned into sugar. It is sugar. And when it's turned into sugar or glucose, the body must find a way to handle that because that's a very dangerous zone for the body. And so the sugar is turned into fat. And so we are eating a lot of refined starch, a lot of fatty foods, a lot of frizzy drinks, not to mention the proteins are too fatty, a lot of animal meat. By the way, animal meat can be a danger to the gut. The fatty animal, things like sausages and brawns and nyama bites and motura and whatever it is we eat in our estates or wherever we are. We have a lot of that, especially in East Africa, and I'm sure even around the world, people love those things. And this can be these two categories can be very, very dangerous for our gut health. And we've reduced our fruits intake, vegetable intakes, and the whole grains. Look at that typical diet here. This typical diet could represent ugali, rice, chapati, mandazi, samosa, whatever it is that you eat in your main meals and mini meals. Not to mention the sugars we are adding to already added sugar and fats there. So we are saying there needs to be a solution, and that is why Neolife came up as part of the solution provider, and it's been doing that for the last 63 years and going. I would urge you to understand more about it. I thank God I was introduced to it 19 years ago, and I've been learning things that I never would have learned. I was a very ignorant mother. I don't want to use a hard word for myself, but I was too ignorant, and it was affecting my children's health as young as they were. So how can you turn this pyramid upside down? One of the things you can do is to incorporate supplementation in your diet. Supplements are good. I see people fearing supplements, and they go and eat sugar, too much sugar. They go and eat too much sodas. They go and take a lot of alcohol. And I'm thinking, I thought what you're moving into is even more dangerous. So it is important to understand that supplementations have a place in the world today, but you need to look at a supplement that is whole food. Whole food means it is made from nature, and when it gets to your system, it gets incorporated and fills the gap that has been created. How is this gap created? It could be created by eating foods that lack nutrients, or sometimes when we farm, sometimes we lose the nutrients that we should have from the soils. The way we cook our food, the way we move food from one area to another, that is compromised. The preparation itself, or even the food choices we are making, there's a big gap there that could affect us. And one of the diseases we've seen now are those gut health challenges, which can be sorted. And I want to challenge you. If you're on this call and you've been having gut challenges, I'm gonna give you a solution. And when you come back, you'll give us a testimony and say, for sure, I know that sometimes I inflicted that into myself. So one of the things you need to know is first take care of yourselves. Remember where you are seated here. We are 189 of us. We are human beings who are made up of cells. And a human being has about 73 to 100 trillion cells. And you can only be as healthy as your cell. That is the fact. And how do you have a healthy cell? A healthy cell requires good oils that come from these grains you can see here: wheat, rice, soya. The jam part of it has some oils that are called lipids and sterols. And the work of that oil is to maintain the cell membrane on a daily basis. That is why we have 5 servings of foods every day: breakfast, mini meal, lunch, mini meal, dinner. You're supposed to supply your body with enough oil so that that oil can maintain the cell membrane. Nutrition can come in, the waste can go out efficiently. I'm sure we all did some biology. We can understand in a layman's language osmosis. Now, if you're eating badly, like we saw here, you've inverted your pyramid upside down. What does that mean? You're not eating whole grains as much, and so you have a lot of refined foods in your body. So what does that translate? It translates to an unhealthy cell. One unhealthy cell leads to 2, 3, 4, 5 unhealthy cells. And the more they keep multiplying, the more you age, when you are feeling sicker, more unhealthy. And sometimes now it goes to the specific challenges we've talked about. So 3NN comes to sort that problem, and it comes and repairs your damaged cell membranes, and you have a healthy cell. And when you have a healthy cell, I'll assure you, within a week, within 2 weeks, within a month, you start feeling good. And please, TNN is not just for the sick people. It's for each one of us on this call here. Please, we all need ourselves at the best, and we also have solutions for our children, because our children, we're bringing them up exclusively on Western diet, which is very risky. Some of us at least grew up in the village, we know, we got some bit of good base. Some children will never get a good base health-wise. So we have TNN for us, and for the children, we have Vita Squares, and we do have other products that have the TNN. The person who invited you can give you more information. Then you need to boost your immunity. Remember, we've seen some of the challenges we've seen listed by the World Health Organization: heart health, cancer, diabetes, gut challenges. Some of it is triggered by lack of sufficient immunity in the body. So as you can see here, the carotenoids, we know carotenes are very good for boosting your immunity. And those include even a fruit like apple, where we are told an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We know that. Yet what are we doing about that? I need to move faster. So carotenoid will add 115 kgs of raw fruits and vegetables. And for the children, we have the VitaGuard. I used that on my children. Their immunity went up. For the last 19 years. I've not had to worry about their health. And when I was working in the bank, I would take them to the hospital quite a number of times, and my medical bill will be done by the end of the year. You need omega-3. Fish oil is very important for balancing your cells. If there are any growths in the body, it will make sure it inhibits that. And there are many other things that the omega-3 will do. Not to mention, you have healthy bones. We all have bones here. Our minds, we need a proper mind so that we don't get Alzheimer's, we don't get dementia. I'm just giving other reasons why we need to think omega-3, and especially even for expectant mothers, the older generation, and for all of us. And our omega has a family of 8. You can read more about it. It's a very interesting topic. Let's not be ignorant about this. It's about our health. Then we need the vitamins. Multi is a good vitamin right there, as you can see. And it has all the vitamins and minerals. These things are very important for something that is called metabolism. One mineral helps another in terms of metabolizing and even assimilation of some other nutrients. For example, if you want to have enough if you want to have enough calcium in your body, you need to have magnesium and D3 present in the body. So all those things are very delicate. And sometimes we may not be able to balance all that. That is why a multivit is very important. If you go to America, or you go to the Asian countries, they have a supplement on the table because they know we are living a modern life where we don't get enough. And you can't afford not to take care of the body. That should in turn take care of you and everybody else around you. So that is very important. Those 4 products make something called ProVitality. So to make it easy and more understandable and convenient, the company has also made, away from the separate products we've seen, they've made a ProVitality, which is a very good base for turning your pyramid to the upside down in a good way. So there's ProVitality. The other additions to the gut health specifically. If you're on this call and you've never done a detox, I want to dare you to use stage 6. We all need to do stage 6 once or twice a year on the minimum, because we have a lot of unwanted toxins in our gut. So try and do your detox. You can do it for a week, you can do it for a month, but I suggest you do it for a month so that it is, and the person who called you on the call will show you how to use stage 6 for elimination. It's a fantastic product, and it's something you need to think about once or twice a week. It is very good for removing toxins, and it's in our detox program. Then we have fiber tablets. Why fiber? Many times we are eating foods that doesn't have enough fiber. Sometimes we are too busy to make sure we have the balance that we need. And fiber is very good for elimination. It is the kifagio in your intestines. You see, a broom is a very important thing in the world. It sweeps the unwanted things. So you need fiber to help your body to sweep the unnecessary things in the stomach, including the bad fats. And the beauty with our fiber, it has an insoluble and soluble fiber. The soluble fiber will move into the bloodstream, fishing for the unnecessary fats and sugars and pull it out. And then it brings it to the stomach. And then the soluble fiber, the insoluble fiber will pick it up, attach to itself and eliminate when you go for a long call. So it is very important to know that as well. So if you have heart issues, you have digestive issues, fiber is a very important thing, and weight issues. The people with weight issues need a lot of fiber. And of course that the kitambi that comes in the middle at the stomach level, it's very dangerous. Fiber will sort you out if you're good with it for some months. Zinc is very important. It's a healer. It heals the ulcerations in the body. The ulcers we are talking about is very good for the digestive system. You need to understand more about it. The person who invited you can send you more information on zinc. It's a very wonderful product. And if you have ulcers, I want to challenge you, if you're on zinc for some months, together with aloe vera and the Pro Vitality, you will come and give us a testimony. You'll be more than happy, I tell you. We need good protein in the stomach. There are people who are not able to go for a long call properly. You find that the way you ate food, that's the way it came out in the end. And you wonder, what is happening here? Nutrition is very, very important for that. And of course, the people who are challenged health-wise, maybe your appetite is low, you're not eating well, you're sick, Nutrition will sort you out on that area, because many sick people are not able to eat. And sometimes they don't die because of the disease they are sick from. Sometimes they die because they are not getting enough nutrients. They are not eating well, and that affects them. So like our elderly parents who are not eating well, anyone, even a child, they need the nutrition because it will give them a good balance and they have nutrients to take care of themselves. The New Life Shake is also a sister to the Nutrishake, only that this one has less of the starch and the calories. And if you wouldn't want to add some weight, or maybe you want to lose some weight, Nutrishake will be very hard for you, hardy. And if you want lean muscle, that is it. Then finally, we have aloe vera. We know what aloe vera is. We've heard about it, and most of it comes from Africa. So we need to know that, number one, it will remove stress. Stress affects gut health. It will give you energy. We've said that people with gut problems, they have low energy, and it will promote your digestive comfort. Very good for digestion, very good for ulcers. And it takes care of ulcers right from the mouth, where you give a good wash, all the way down to the stomach. So this one is not bitter. It's very healthy. It's also been blended with some energy-giving herbs that are very good and very nice, and it will help you sleep better. That I will tell you for a fact. Then garlic. If you've not dewormed in a while, you need garlic. Why? Because it's a natural dewormer. It's a natural antibacterial. It's a natural antiviral. And everybody needs to have some bit of garlic around them, because in this COVID season, one of the things that COVID is attacking is our circulatory system. People who have heart challenges, it extends to clots and something like that. And our our immunity is low. So garlic is a natural immune booster. It will help with the intestines. It will eliminate all those things that are not good in the flora of the stomach. And it doesn't give you the bad aftertaste. You know, the normal garlic, when you take, you go near people, they are like, this is not good. But with this garlic, it is loaded with allicin, and it is coated in such a way that it goes to burst at the small intestines where it is required for assimilation. And so that aftertaste doesn't come out. Again, it doesn't go through the stomach, because we don't want it digested. It's already ready for, when it opens up, it is ready for that. So I want to thank you so much for coming and looking at how you can get a happy gut health. There's acidophilus. Remember, we talked about the good bacteria in the intestines. There are people whose bacteria has been affected than the good bacteria. Most of the people who take a lot of antibiotics and a lot of medication. So acidophilus will come and sort that out. So good health begins with your gut. We've just seen that. I'm super excited that you're part of this because everybody here has a gut. And I mean everybody, and our children and our grandparents and everybody. So I want to stop it there and take the meeting back to Fred.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gladys. That was a very, very exciting and very, very informative session that you've just taken us through about our gut health. And friends, I've been with Neolife for a while. I joined this company in 1996. And when I joined Neolife, I was a very young man. And one of the challenges I was having was irregular bowel movement and also the issue of too much gas in the stomach. And a doctor told me it's because of not eating regular meals. And when I came to Neolife, I was introduced to the products that Gladys has shared with you, and I started taking them. And I quickly found that my system stabilized. I used to have this problem whereby if I would get into a meeting, especially where it's very quiet, then the stomach starts rumbling. And it can be very, very embarrassing when I'm nervous, or it was quite embarrassing. And sometimes you feel that you are too full, you don't feel like you want to eat anything. And when I started taking the aloe vera plus and the fiber, that condition disappeared totally. And that excited me so much. Now, I moved on. My dad was suffering from ulcers. I know I've shared this a couple of times. And his ulcers had become very serious. At one point in his life, he used to enjoy the odd beer and nyama choma, and he got ulcers. And they started bleeding, and at one point he started vomiting blood and going diarrheaing blood, and he had to be hospitalized at Mpisha Hospital, spent there a couple of weeks. It was quite a big challenge. I remember selling our own car, his car rather, and you know that days a car was a treasure. Having somebody who was driving a car was a big deal. So he had to sell it to pay the bill for the hospital. And when I joined Neolife, my dad had a special diet. He could not eat this, he could not eat that, he could not eat the other. My mom had to cook 2 meals, one for dad and the other for the rest of us. But he started swallowing some of my aloe vera plus, and it happened by accident because I bought some stock, I kept it in the house, and I realized that my aloe vera plus kept on dwindling. I think they discovered that aloe vera plus is very sweet, so people are drinking it in the house. And one day I had my dad sharing, hey, these things that Fred buys are very good. Now I don't have a problem with my stomach anymore. I can eat anything. I was like, what? You mean you've been taking my product? But I couldn't ask him a question because he had loaned me the money to start the business in the first place and had not repaid it. So I was guilty as charged. So I was just so happy that he started eating normally. To date, he's never had a problem with his gut again, his stomach. In fact, the other day I went up country and I found him, and I found a jerry can full of fermented milk. And I took a glass, and I like sour milk, and I took it. Then when I was taking the second one, my mom was like, hey, don't finish for your dad. That milk is for him. I said, what? This guy is taking fermented milk, and he has a history of ulcers. So his ulcers have actually disappeared. There's nothing he cannot eat. He could not eat githeri, he could not eat so many things. He was always on medication, but I cannot remember the last time we ever bought anything for him because of ulcers. So the products have worked for me. I also went out. I have so many clients who have had challenges with, of late, I've seen a lot of H. pylori happening. And that was one of the motivations why we said we need to do this session on ulcers and gut health. And I have dealt with several clients of mine who've had H. pylori. One particular one, of course, he's a guy who is very well off, and he enjoys his odd beer and everything. He likes enjoying life. And he developed H. pylori. And his son also developed H. pylori. I'm not sure why. Probably it's the diet at home. And I put him on the program that Gladys has just shared. And I just want to mention that for H. pylori, most of the time, the doctors will give you antibiotics, and those will have their own challenges. They are trying to control the bacteria. But our garlic allium does a fantastic job. When you combine garlic allium and zinc and aloe vera plus, it does a fantastic job. I put this guy on that, and long short of the story is that today he can enjoy his beer again. He's settled down. He's quite okay. He buys the old zinc, the old garlic, not because he has ulcers, but because he has H. pylori. Because anytime he goes in for a checkup, they check it and they say he doesn't have it. So I can tell you, he then took the program and gave it to his son. And the son also experienced very, very good results, and he stopped having problems as far as H. pylori is concerned. So we do have solutions as far as the gut is concerned in your life. And I just want to encourage everybody who's on the call, if you know somebody, or if you are in a situation where you are suffering from gut issues, if you're getting too much gas in the system, it's good to check it out. It's good to check it out because, like Gladys said, it indicates, it's a trigger, it's a warning sign to tell you that everything is not well in your body and you need to take care of it. If it is not taken care of, an ulcer can develop into cancer, and that can be very, very disastrous. Now, I joined Neolife because I wanted to make money. But one of the benefits that I got, the first benefit was health. But me, I was coming for money because I was working in the hotel industry and they were not paying me enough. The job I was doing was not the job I was trained for. I was actually working as an operative, but I was meant to be a manager. And when I came into the business and I started using the products and they worked for me, it gave me a story, it gave me confidence. I went out and shared this story with so many people, and I started building an exciting business out of it. In 7 months, I was already earning over 30K, which is not a lot of money, but at that time it was a lot of money for me because I was not earning much as a receptionist. I went on building the business, became a world team member, got into the 6 figures, and life changed. And I can tell you, friends, I know many are here because of health purposes. The money part of it is exciting. It is better to join Neolife and buy for yourself and get to make some extra income. Because you see, at the end of the day, an extra coin makes a lot of difference, especially in this COVID-19 period. And if you can make that coin without interfering with what you're doing currently, if you're employed, you continue working for your boss. If you have another business, you continue with it. But you do Neolife on a part-time basis, and you'll find that at the end of the day, you're adding an extra coin in your pocket. And more importantly, you're making a positive difference in people's lives. Before this call, I was just listening to a religious gentleman who was giving some views and saying that a human being should not retire. And the reason why people who retire die so fast is because God says, you are not willing to take care of my people anymore. You don't want to solve the problems of the humanity. So you have no use on this planet. You need to exit. But if you say, I am going to do this thing and I'm going to continue surviving and changing people's lives, and that is what Neolife gives you. You may be in a situation where you have the money, you have the lifestyle, but there are people around you who are suffering. And by you getting involved in Neolife, you can talk to that person who has a gut issue, they use the product, they are sorted. You talk to that person who has COVID-19, and right now the strain that is around is quite lethal. We have a solution in Neolife for COVID-19. So you have a real chance, not only to change the lives of your family in terms of health, but also to change the lives of the society around you in terms of health and wellness. And you can do that by becoming a part of Neolife, becoming a member of Neolife. And then you start experiencing other benefits from Neolife. One of the other benefits I've experienced is that I've been able to travel. I've been abroad more than 20 times courtesy of Neolife. And when I travel with my wife. I can tell you the first trip was to South Africa. And I remember we went with Anyang Nyong and Kiraitu Murungi. Incidentally, they're also in the business and they are quite busy. but they're still changing people's lives by sharing with these people the excitement about the products of Neolife and what Neolife opportunity can do. So if such Waishimiwas can be doing this business, sure. What about you and me? We have a less schedule. Our schedule is not as packed as theirs, but they are taking time to change people's lives through the opportunity of Neolife. It means that the rest of us should actually follow suit and look at how we can manage our time so that we can be able to incorporate Neolife and, more importantly, incorporate the mission of making a positive difference in people's lives. So I've been able to travel quite a bit. I've been abroad more than 20 times. I've been to America twice, Mexico, Mauritius, so many places. The money in Neolife is good, but I can tell you what caps Neolife is the people that you meet. Neolife distributors are some of the most fantastic people that you'll meet, people with high integrity and people who are on a mission to change people's lives, and they don't make apologies about it. They change lives on a daily basis. I can tell you the stories that we have of people who have been impacted by the Neolife products are many, and every week we have been tackling a different area. Next week we'll be back again tackling a different area of health and how we can provide a solution to that as well. So guys, we have come to the end of our session, and I just want to encourage all the guests who are on the call, turn to the person who invited you. Ask him, how can I partner with Neolife? How can I become a distributor? How can I join this mission to change people's lives? How can I go out there and change the lives of Kenyans in terms of health, in terms of money, in terms of wealth, and especially during this COVID-19 period where the pocket has really been hammered? How can I help Kenyans live a better life through the Neolife opportunity? And more importantly, how can I sort myself out? If you have a challenge, if you're here and you're a guest, and you're looking for something that you can do part-time that can be able to give you income. For me, I joined Neolife with less than $100. It costed me 9,900 shillings. I didn't have this money. I paid 3,500. I went and borrowed the difference from a friend, and I got started. So I am here because of borrowed capital. It's not that I had the money to start. I did not have the money to start, but I made a plan and I got started. Neolife is a kind of business where you don't need capital to run it. Once you register with Neolife, you get the license, you now use word of mouth. You just start talking to people, just sharing your excitement with people about what you have used and how it has worked for you. And you end up making money. And that's the beauty about it. And I always like sharing that at one point in my Neolife career, I got a boy from the street at Chokora. This guy could not, he had one black shoe and one safari boot. And I had to give him my shirts and my clothes just to make him look decent. He had never gone to school. He had only gone to approved school. And I started working with him. I started showing him the Neolife opportunity. It took him more than 6 months to get the money to start. But 6 months after joining, this young man was earning over 30K. A year after joining, this guy was earning over 50,000 Kenya shillings. And this is a guy who doesn't know how to read or write. And that is when I realized that the Neolife opportunity is available for everybody, regardless of your background, regardless of whether you have money or you don't have money, regardless of whatever you're involved with. This is something that only needs your time, 2 to 3 hours in a day. You get into business, start using high quality products, and you change people's lives. So guys, there we have it for the guests. Turn to the person who invited you. You have two choices. You can either say, okay, I'm not interested in getting involved in the business. How can I acquire the products? They will advise you. They will tell you how to get the products. They will supply you and they will help you get that. Or you can say that, me, I want to do the business. They will advise you. Getting involved with Neolife right now costs 7,630 or 8,900, or you can join at a higher level. The person who invited you will advise you how you can actually be able to get started. But talk to them, tell them which option you want to take, whether you want to become a distributor or you just want to acquire the products to sort out your issues. But the last thing that I want to ask of you is, don't keep this information to yourself. Share this information with as many people as possible so that we can get into this situation whereby we are changing many people's lives. Remember one thing, when you change somebody's life, God is keeping score and he'll actually change yours as a result. So thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic afternoon. The recording of this particular session will be available later today. And next Sunday, we'll be back again and we'll be tackling another area of health. But it was wonderful being here with you, talking to you, and really participating in this mission to change people's lives positively. Thank you so much. God bless you and have a good evening.